Good morning, this is Andy with Mountain Computers. Today is, what, June? Oh, I don't even know what the day is. Doesn't matter. Anyhow, our last two videos, we showed you how to properly build a computer and then install Windows 10, the Mountain Computer way, if you call it that. But today, I'm going to go through it again because I need to slow down a little bit on the post-installation and configuration for some of the people who asked me. One thing you got to know is this what I do all day? No, it's not. This is probably one of the, not the easiest, but it's one of the most enjoyable things I do in a day. Now, mind you, yes, I lead and manage teams. Yes, I work on projects. Yes, I do software development. I do networking. I do databases. I do application development. I do a lot of things. I like the variety, and I'm good at it. And one thing you should always do is enjoy what you're doing. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, stop doing it. And if people ask you to do things that you don't want to do, you don't have to. Now remember, this is your life. Do what you love doing. Do what you enjoy. Do what you get rewarded for, okay? But in my case, I like helping people with their computers. And not just one at a time. I do it en masse. You know, that's why you write tools. That's why you write procedures. That's why you write policies and procedures. And great white papers. And great, our blog. My blog is approaching 1,000 entries. My videos are over 150 videos. And it'll continue to grow. Sharing your knowledge. While at the same time, don't worry about the secrets so much. A lot of people couldn't do it even if you showed them how. It's like having the ingredients yet. There's technique. There is practice. There's apprenticeship. There's schooling, formal education, and certifications. But in this case, I'm going to show you again how we do Windows installation. Okay? And I'm going to slow down just a little bit to give you a chance to understand my thinking on how and why we do things manually at first for, what, 10 years? And then I wrote the software that automated a 45-minute process into a few seconds. So if you do it manually, there's only a couple things that I have to do manually that I can't write in software. And that's just because Windows is too, the developers just did some stupid things and made things to where you can't just write code to modify the registry properly. So it's a little tricky. Mostly it has to do with the system performance tuning settings. So I'm going to take this video camera and show you the inside of this computer. And this customer computer died yesterday. This hard drive right here, a Seagate 1 terabyte. That hard drive basically had a problem, and it's been running for, God, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. 24/7. It's an accounting firm that I used to help 4 or 5 years ago, but they retired and they sold to another client. A client bought this one accounting firm out, and I used to help that client previously. And that drive has been running non-stop, and they didn't choose to continue using me until their computer died, and then their help and support wasn't able to fix it. So I took this drive. When they called me, I was like, okay, no problem, let's see what's going on. And I tried to repair it, wouldn't repair. So I mounted it on three of my repair systems. I have a Windows recovery system. I have a Mac recovery system, as well as I have a Linux recovery system. Well, the first two, the Windows recovery system would not properly mount the drive, let alone see it. Now, when I listened to the drive when it turned on, it's a platter, it was still spinning. However, it was knocking and whining. It was going, and I was like, oh no. And of course their backups were 6 months old. And I said, oh my God, what, you do have backups, right? And they go, oh yeah, we haven't done it in a while. So I was like, okay, fine. That really sucks. I knew an accounting firm that lost 3 years worth of data because they hadn't backed up. They thought they were backing stuff up, but they weren't. They were backing stuff up, but it wasn't their data, it was just their computer. The data was off on another drive, and they never verified. So the Mac saw it for a second and then unmounted it. And then the Linux Mint, thank you Linux Mint, hey, or Ubuntu, it mounted it read-only and held it still long enough for me to get 125 gigabytes of financial data off of it, and on 1 terabyte. So I was like, okay, no problem, that's good. I called the customer, I said, I'm transferring your stuff now. I verified what I'm looking for, grabbed it. There were some errors on the recovery, but in this case, we just went and got another hard drive to replace this one, and we're going to make sure that their backups are in place afterwards, because it's been 5 years since we were at that client. It's not a big deal. I mean, they're pretty big, but you know, people change IT companies all the time, and some IT companies are better than others. And the one comment somebody once told me, it was just this last week, they said, Andy, you're expensive. No, I don't take 5 hours to fix something. I take 1 hour. The other people, 5 hours at $65 an hour. Me, 2 hours at $125 an hour. So expertise has value, okay? If you know what you're doing, you can charge it. But the thing is, right, you're not going to be there all day dilly-dallying trying to figure it out. That's the difference between a great dentist, a great doctor, versus a bad one, somebody who's new. Cheapest isn't always the best. And there's a break point where, you know, you feel like you're not, I don't overcharge people, I charge what's fair. So anyhow, we went and got place of that drive, an 860 EVO, 500 gigabytes. I don't need a 1 terabyte, that's a waste, that's overkill for what they do. And let me show you the computer, and then I'll zoom in on the screen and I'll finish the installation. So hold still. Alright, so this HP was pretty dirty inside. I already cleaned it. As you can see, I haven't put the hard drive back into the drive bracket. It previously had Windows 10 Pro on it, and it was activated, so I don't need to worry about the activation. It's a Windows 7 Pro that automatically updated to Windows 10 probably a year or two ago. And we're right here where I'm going to finish the Windows installation and configuration. It's a good computer. I'd like to bump the RAM up, but it's just sitting there acting as a little home file server. Yeah, for a accounting firm. You don't need a big server for some things. You just need simple backups are the most important. Backups are the most important. Let me get that out of the way. We'll zoom in on this. Let's see here. Let me get this going here, like we did last time. Sorry if I rambled too much at the beginning talking about all these things, but like that information's important. Let's see. Let me kill the light, get the glare off. That looks about right. I think that's good. Get this out of the way. Yeah. All right. So, 1 terabyte drive. Okay. Platter. 2. An 860 EVO. Okay. And just need a screwdriver. Simple screwdriver like this. To take that computer apart, blow it out, clean it out, and let's get started. So, Andy from Mountain Computers, the Go Green PC Tune-Up Guy. I'm just going to show you again how we complete the Windows installation, 10 installation and configuration, the way we do it here. Okay? So, it'll take about 15 minutes minimum, and we're already 9 minutes into this video, so let's just get started. Okay, so region, let's start. Yep, United States. And by the way, the network cable is not plugged in. US, we're going to skip second keyboard. You do this enough times. See, like right here, I have my Go Green PC Tune-Up network, and I got Mountain Computers, one of those two. Either way, doesn't matter. But I don't have internet. That's what I click on because I want to be able to create a local account with admin privileges. Okay, so last time I just skipped through this. Advanced security, privacy, free access to Office Online, unlock the best Windows features. You can always, that'll always come in afterwards. Don't worry about it. Don't waste our time. We need to just get this thing installed and back in the customer's hands. So we click continue with limited setup. Oh, username. So in this case, I am going to, I don't know what their username was, so I'm just going to say owner again. We can always add another account later on. No password at this moment. We'll add it later for protection. Do more across devices with activity history. No. Like Cortana. No, don't need to listen to her. Some people, yeah, lazy, but me, this is a computer. This isn't your personal assistant. Coffee's good. So, online speech recognition. Nope, don't need that. Find my device. Nope, don't share my location. Don't spam me. Don't tell everybody where I'm at. I don't need to tell Microsoft any more than they already know. I don't need you to tailor my experiences. And I accept. Hi. Now at this point, this is a pretty quick computer. I don't even know what the processor and the RAM is. We didn't get that far. But it's good enough for what they need. But for the most part, it's just going to be, I'll show you the before and after of the Go Green PC Tune-Up, what it does. And the Go Green PC Tune-Up, when you download it for free and install it, each one of the tune-up buttons tells you what it does in the 3, 7, and 21 point. So it's pretty straightforward. Why do I pick Samsung SSD drives? I don't know. I like these drives. They're affordable. They're like 80, 90 bucks. You don't need 1 terabyte. Just 500 gigabytes, fine. If you need something bigger, get a secondary drive, like a data drive that's a platter. And always be sure to back up your stuff. Always back up your data. Yeah, and the warranty on these 860 EVOs is good. So we did not transfer the data back to this drive before we install the operating system. I'll disconnect the drive, take it back to our recovery Linux system, and transfer the accounting data back, 125 gigabytes of accounting data, transfer that back. Then return the computer to the client, and then finish configuring it and getting their data shared out into their small network. And but that's later on today, this morning. It's a Saturday, but yeah, we'll do this for business, no problem. Okay, so here we are. All right, so now, without further ado, I'm going to plug the network cable in, get these updates rolling. And like I said before, I had this jump drive here, this Transcend adapter, just a simple 32 gig chip with Windows 10. I created this using the Windows Media Creation tool. You download that from Microsoft, and when you download it from Microsoft, it just formats this, and then you can use it for extra data as well besides just the operating system. But that's my Windows 10 Pro. All right, so it says let's finish setup. Let's see. Windows Hello, whatever. Link, no. Work seamlessly across the network, no. Achieve more with 365. You know, if you're going to use Office, pay one time. Just go get Office Professional Plus 2019. Don't pay Microsoft 12, 15 bucks a month forever. If you pay for the Office Professional Plus 2019 or even 2016, it's one time. What is it, like 150 bucks, 200 bucks? You're done. And it still gets all the security updates and all the benefits. Keep your files more secure in the cloud with OneDrive. Well, you can use Carbonite, you can use OneDrive, you can use iCloud, you can use a lot of things. Or you just back it up locally, but definitely have a cloud backup and something rotated to where you can take it off site. You want to, I'm going to say skip for now. I want to emphasize that fire, flood, and theft is your biggest enemy. So, skip for now. And we're on the internet. So what's going to happen is the Windows updates are going to start coming in. So let me grab this keyboard here and bring it a little closer to me. All right, so I can see. All right, So it's an SSD drive. So let's Windows logo R to bring up the command prompt. Let's see how quick this thing is. It's not bad. I always do a directory /S just to see how responsive the system is. Alright, so it's Windows 10 Pro. It's not activated yet. It's an AMD A6. That's fine. 6 gig of RAM. Fine. And as far as everything goes, I'll just click on Device Manager to see what we got pending. And the only thing it probably is pending is the display adapter. So it's going to pop that in here in a second. Everything else looks okay. So it's not a real strange system. So at this point, I'm just going to reboot this and see if Windows activates on reboot. Okay? You don't need to do anything other than just plug in the network cable, see if it's activated or not. If it's not, reboot it one time, and then we'll continue on. So it's a lot of hurry up and wait. You know, we don't charge bench time, we only charge touch time. A normal reload and streamline, optimize, and clean up and restore data, especially profile that is like $150. Takes us anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. If it's faster, we charge less. If it's a full reload, a full everything, then yeah. But that's the going rate for now. Some people charge a lot more, but the hardware's fine. Just needs the operating system restored, some applications. They have their own financial applications to restore. I've got their data. We'll just do this. In this case, we'll just do the simple stuff because they don't need the full everything. Most of that will be done by the customer, like Office. They have all their Office licenses, their financial software licensing. There's a lot of different financial software applications. Now, if they were an existing customer of mine and I had the file folder still active, I would know all their financial systems and I would just reload it for them and activate it. Let's see what we got now. Did it activate? Nope, still didn't activate. So we'll have to wait on that. So on the label on this computer, there's a Windows 7 Pro code. I could use the Windows 7 Pro code, but unfortunately it's on the bottom side, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Normally you just activate, type in the Windows 7 Pro code, it'll go ahead and activate under Windows 10 Pro. Okay? So you don't have to pay for the license. Again, it's just a digital license. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing we do, let's look at the settings, see what we got. Alright, first thing, Windows settings. Okay, so I'm just going to kill some of the stuff that just doesn't need to run. In Microsoft, like a marketing company, they'll bloat you to death with notifications and some things in the last video I didn't really show you that I turn on. And I did turn it on after the video, but I forgot about it. So I'm just going to do background. Microsoft has a way of running everything in the background. So choose which apps can run in the background. So click that. Turn this off. Okay, that's the first thing. And then Microsoft has its own artificial intelligence it's basically one of these things that they think they know better than you. So there's this one maintaining your system feature called SYSMAIN. On Windows 7 it's called something else. I can't remember what it's called. It says maintains improved system performance over time. Well, no. I read the background on this. It's not a good idea. That's the first thing. And then Windows Search. Okay. Hard drives are fast enough to where if you look for something, you know, it's usually in your documents anyhow. You're going to manually do it. Most people don't search, but maybe 1% of, if they can't find something, they might search for it. But usually it's in their email, and this search doesn't have anything to do with their email per se. I've seen the two where the Windows search and the Outlook search or your other email search, they behave differently. So those two things, background under settings, SysMain, and Windows Search. Okay, set those to manual and turn them off. Alright, there's one other thing here at the start. Okay, down here in the bottom right corner, you can see this. You pop this up, you'll see that your antivirus is there, and you'll see that OneDrive is not signed in. Then also over here to the further to the right, make sure your date and time is correct too. Do the pop-up here on this system notification tray. It says activation needed. First thing I do is I click expand, so I can see everything that's going on. Then I say clear all notifications. Then you'll notice this one button here called tablet mode. And you also see one that's called location. Where's your location? I don't see it. Oh yeah, it's grayed out right now. I don't like my computer to tell the world where I am, okay? There's no need. You need your privacy, okay? There's plenty of ways that they figure it out, okay? All the search engines, all the websites, everybody figures out where you are, even if you try to hide yourself, even under a VPN, even through IP hiding. So don't worry, screen size. They've got your fingerprint, they got your thumbprint, they got your digital DNA already figured out. So if you think you're gonna hide, it's not gonna work, okay? Tablet mode, this is what screws people up. They'll click this, right click won't work, screens won't work, menus don't work quite right. But make sure tablet mode is off, okay? So all I do is expand that so I can see all of this, okay? So what's next? Let's see here. So if I was to go through my checklist, let's just immediately get Chrome and Firefox. This is Microsoft's new Edge. I actually do like it a little bit. Alright, so sometimes it pops up and tells you stuff. So google.com/Chrome. And I don't need to tell Google anymore about what help them do better. You know what? Not my clients. They've got about 100 million other people telling them what they are doing right and wrong. So let this download. We'll install it. Oh, and by the way, when I worked at UNR and I've worked at Microsoft, I've worked at a lot of different companies, that's one of the things. Oh, you always got to watch these notifications. They're not real obvious. See, it was down there on the taskbar and I didn't see it while I was talking. And we have images. So if you have 50 computers, all you do is get one computer configured the way you want it without the activation codes, and create an image server and then install from an image server. We did that at Microsoft. We did it at UNR. We did the school district. We did a lot of different places. It's fast, even over the internet. 1 gigabit network or higher. So get Chrome going. Okay, so get started and just skip. I don't know why they keep the skips and keep moving it around. It's retarded. Their usability, people aren't that smart when it comes to some things. Even logins and passwords. Okay, so that one's done. So let's get the next one. Let's go ahead and get Firefox. Now, I didn't talk yesterday about Brave browser, Opera. Gosh, there's quite a few different browsers. Safari. Each one of those are awesome in a way. Click the run down here at the bottom. You don't need to save. Or even Tor browser, for your privacy and security. So Tor, see another one down here at the bottom. You got to keep your eyes open to see those notifications at the bottom. Otherwise they time out and you wonder what happened. So once this is done, we got Firefox, we got Chrome, and we can close this. Always close tabs, yeah. Oh. We only did 2 performance things at this moment. Alright, so that's done. Now with Firefox in the top right, it's not really obvious, but there's an X, start browsing. I don't even know why this does this. Okay, I got it. They're starting to annoy me with all these things. Always warn me? No. Uncheck, close tabs. Alright, so let's open this up again. Okay, uncheck, always perform, not now. Okay, so this is what's scary, is this little X up here in the top right. You got to click that. And then you got to get rid of all this crap down below. Remove. I don't need this stuff. I'll leave this, top sites. That's about it. Alright, so what do we get next? Let's get the Go Green PC Tune-Up software. GGPCTU. All we do is search for that. That's the keyword. Alright, there it is. Now mind you, the digital license on this thing is expired, but it's still valid. I go to SSL.com to get my digital software licenses, but they're a little slow and backed up right now. So more info, you got to click this. Don't say don't run, and then run anyway. Normally it says mount the computers right here. See right here. Show more details. See, it doesn't even know yet, but I'm going to say yes. Okay, so at that point, I accept. Next, 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 and run. Okay. So minimize that. So unlock it right away and type in our password or our key code 541-482-1348. I showed you that in the last video as well. It used to be my home phone number when I lived in Oregon in Ashland. So I just use things that are, you know, you don't want to ever forget certain stuff. So anyhow, so here's the tune-up software. The video display driver hasn't appeared yet, so the video display driver hasn't made this towards, I mean, that's why we designed it to be at what, 1024 by 768. So it fits the screen even for the smallest resolution and the 22-inch screens. So at this point, I'll just say check performance. That performance is actually pretty good. So the first thing you do is you see the test paths right here. You look at power scheme. Haven't changed that yet. Max inactive stuff. Paging file is a little wrong. Microsoft always gets that wrong. There's ways to set it. It's basically your active RAM. The bottom setting is 1.5 times your active RAM, and the top setting is 2.5 times your active RAM, installed RAM. And if you change your RAM, you got to go back and manually change that. And if you don't know that, you'll say, I added more RAM, why isn't it faster? It's because you didn't check your virtual memory settings if you manually set them. In some cases, Windows 7 allows the system to manage it properly, but occasionally you'll just see it's wrong. At least for performance. Most people don't notice if the processor's fast enough. Okay, so let's create a restore point. So while that's going, there is one thing that I like to do. Let me show you here. Go to the control panel, okay? All right, that's how the control panel looks before the tune-up, okay? Let me switch this back. That's how it looks. It's called by category view, right up here, okay? So there's two ways to look at this, large icons and small icons. Our Go Green PC tune-up moves that to large icons, mainly because small icons for the young generation, their eyesight is perfect. Older generation like me, I like those icons to be big. So anyhow, that's the first thing it does. Let me close that, and then I'm going to bring up Windows logo E to do the Explorer. Now this is not the way I like to see my Windows Explorer. This Windows Explorer, the way this Windows Explorer is wrong, okay? It's totally not usable. I don't even know what they're thinking of. So first thing I do is turn off OneDrive, bye-bye. Let's maximize this thing. And by the way, the title bar here, right here, let me explain something. Let me just I tell people that work for me, all right, here's a control box item. This control box, oh shit, excuse me, turn this back on. PG 13, no. So right here's the control box. They don't talk about that anymore, but that used to be the main thing to open and close and restore stuff. Then as you go across, this, you have some more icons to do stuff. That's upper ribbon, lower ribbon, things like that. Minimize, maximize or restore, and then close. And then you have this little pin icon right here to expand the ribbon. So anyhow, this control box is very powerful. Plus, along this title bar, see this title bar right here, this blank space? You can click that and just drag your screen around. Now right now, as I drag, the image is perfect, but when we optimize it, we get rid of that because we want the screen to actually, the computer to work a lot faster. So, first thing there. So the other thing we do is, you see this drop down here? We expand this, and then right now, under the view, you'll see file extensions are not on. I love file extensions. I don't know what planet people are on, but if you have a file extension and you don't know what it is, you don't know what applications it's associated with, and on the Mac, they don't really care. They do and don't. On Windows, I really care. MS-DOS, Unix, I care. Because application association is everything. And I get more calls from people when Adobe Reader doesn't open up their PDF files because Microsoft Edge is opening and reading their PDF files after they do a reload or reinstall or something weird. So anyhow, that's the reasoning behind I want to see everything on this screen. And you'll see the quick access is there. Some people will unpin it. That's what these are. Some will add more. Some will get crazy. And you'll see this network thing. If you click that, it says, oh, I don't know what to do. Right now, network discovery is off. I turn it on. Turn it on and file sharing and say yes. Just let it be. Okay, we just came back from a quick break. I had a client come in. So what I was just telling you was network discovery turned on or off. So I click this on, turn it on. Yes, turn on network discovery. Done. Okay. So as far as what's left, let me show you if we can cancel that. Windows logo R, that brings up the run command. Control, I already typed that in once before. Now you'll see that we have the control panel with the standard control panel that we're all used to under Windows 7 and previous editions. You'll see that you have the large icons, which I like, okay? And the other thing about it is you see our Go Green PC Tune-Up icon is also here. We drop that into the control panel so people don't forget about it, or if they lose it, because it is an installation, they can go in there and deal with that. What else? Alright, so close that. Windows logo pause break. If you have the pause break key in the top right corner of your keyboard, you can click that. That brings up that. And then Windows logo E to bring up your Explorer. And we were just talking about the control box. We're talking about minimize, maximize, restore, and close. You can just double click on the title bar too to maximize and restore. You don't have to go over here and click these buttons. You can double click anywhere on this. And you'll see that I'm double clicking with the left. Okay? So that's pretty simple. You'll see that in this case, I didn't have to pin this down, this ribbon down. And if we go under view, we'll see hidden items. Because we turn on hidden items, I uncheck that for some users because hidden items confuses them. So our Go Green PC Tune-Up actually turns on hidden items like the app data, the Windows program files x86, and program data. What else? So we're already 30 minutes into this video, and I know that's a little long, but it's important. And we added a lot of commentary, and that's important too. I also cleaned the screen because I was noticing fuzzies and dust on it, but this is Nevada. There's a lot of dust here. So what else? We already did this. Under right-clicked on this PC, we turn on these icons. We like these icons. Recycle bin owner. Advanced system settings. Settings. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. Advanced. You'll see the paging file is there. I was talking about that. Automatically manage paging. If you are going to do a custom size, you can go ahead and do that. And I'll just show you real quick. It's 6 gig of RAM, right? So what's 6 gig? Let me just demonstrate the virtual memory. Some engineering firms, architectural firms, I showed them how to do this properly on Xeon with a lot of RAM. They like to set this and they set it wrong. So in our case, I'll Windows logo R, calc, bring up the calculator. This has got 6 gig of RAM on it. So 6 gig of RAM times 1024 per gig is 6144. So that's exactly what the RAM is on this computer. Now, you'll see that the paging file was not what we thought it was. It was 1600. So 6144 times 1.5 is 9216. That would go in here, 9216. That's the top, that's the bottom number, initial size. Now, 6144, 6 gig, times 2.5 is 15360. That's what goes down here, 15360. That is the proper way to set your virtual memory based on your installed RAM, okay? So if you do it right, you won't have any problems. If you do it wrong, you'll have problems. I mean, some people just go, oh, larger is better. Actually, that's not true. Larger is not better. So if it was like 6 gig, they'd say, oh, well, let's just make it 12,000. That's wrong. Some will just say 20,000. That's wrong too, okay? So basically what I was telling you is bring up calculator, know what your installed RAM is. So if you have 4 gig of RAM, 4 times 1024 is 4096. Now I know that number. 8192 is 8 gig times 1.5. So your bottom number is 6144. And then you say 4096 times 2.5 is 10240. So if you have 16 gig of RAM, which is 16384, which is what I put in most computers, and multiply that by 1.5, you'll get 24576. So 16384 times 2.5 is 40960. Okay? So that's how you do it. Alt F4 to close that. I'm not going to leave this the way it is. I'm just going to set it back to automatic. Actually, I'm going to turn this, uncheck this, and zero these out. There. I could also say cancel, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so you see that it's 1.6 gigabits right now. It's wrong, but oh well. You know. That's Microsoft for you. I don't think most of the software engineers understand hardware and bus relationships between 32 and 64 gig. I think they understand how to do their compilers. I think they understand how to do their optimization, but they don't know how to do busing and transfers and bandwidth management. You want 1 for 1, 2 for 1, 3 for 1. It's binary. Okay? So, enough said. Alright, so what else? User profiles. I don't click that. Startup settings, so I'm not going to click that. System protection, we already talked about. Remote. Be careful about this. Hardware, device manager, that's all good. Restart later. What else? As far as Go Green PC Tune-Up, I'll just tell you what that does real quick. Alright, so double click this. Create OEM Tools folder. Toggle desktop icons. Let's turn those icons on. Correct restore point and frequency. Change folder options. Change search options. Control panel view. We deal with that. Change search options. Yep. Okay. This here. Delete temps. Delete logs. Delete tasks. Stop non-essential services. Set max password age. Oh yeah, that's right. We set the password never to expire. That catches some people off guard all the time. And then they get locked out, and then the admin account's not enabled, and then we have to do a bypass. It's pretty crazy. Analyze set event logs, clear all event logs, analyze reset network stats, set power options, and okay, so let's talk about power options, download folder views, event logs. Alright, so let me show you this. So let's Windows logo R, event viewer. So the first thing we do is we'll maximize this. Go to Windows logs. So the application and the system log, those are the most important. Under custom views, you actually have what's called the administrative events. That's where we look for anything that has a problem or whatever. So under applications, by default, this is going to be properties. It's going to be 20 megabytes. We set it to 4. Same with system, 4. Now some people, some security people do weird stuff with this security log. They set this to like 100 megabytes, or 100 megabytes, or even higher. Right now it's at 20 megabytes. We leave that alone. But just know that some people have event logs that are just out of control. So that's the first one. So event logs. Talk about that. What was next? Forgot. Let's open this back up again. Let's see. 21. Power options. Oh yes, control panel. So let's go to control panel again. I'll go to power options here. Okay, so we set it for high performance. By default, it's under balanced mode. It says recommended. We turn it to high performance, okay? That's to where the display never turns off. And like in our previous video, we say we don't care. Either turn the computer on, use it as fast as possible, get your work done, turn it off. In areas where there's power fluctuations, outages, brownouts are the worst. If you don't have a UPS, even a power strip isn't good enough, but a UPS is better than nothing. Setting your power options to be just get the job done, don't go to sleep, don't hibernate. That's important. If you do want to do something, if you want to kill your screen, reach over, turn the power button off. Your numlock key on your keyboard is what you will see to determine whether or not your computer's on or off. Remember I told you about that? Just press your numlock on and off. Computer's on, screen's off. Okay? Turn your screen back on when you walk back in from lunch. Okay? That's all you gotta do. Alright, so high performance. We got that done. So close that. Power options, download folder views. Okay, so let's go to downloads. Okay, so if I click on downloads, actually go back to here. Alright, so if you click on downloads, something happens with the view. Okay, the customized view on downloads, if it's not set to general items, it's slow to display the downloads folder. It's because it's trying to analyze everything in the downloads folder, either for whatever reason, either the thumbs database or desktop INI or something. I don't know what it is. But we have learned just to set the download folders under customized properties to general items. Okay? That speeds up the ability for us to open up the downloads folder and see what's in there. Okay? So right now, just the Go Green PC Tune-Up. But if you had thousands of files, it takes forever, and you're like, what's going on? So what else? Power, downloads, network stack. Oh yes, the network stack. There's like 3 commands that we run, and those are in our command batch files that we run, we reset the network stack, okay? We reset the firewall. We reset the WinSock, okay? Now, that doesn't, let me pause this for a second while I take this phone call just a second. Okay, we're back. So anyhow, the batch files, I mean, they do some cool stuff. So anyhow, what else? Anything on Go Green PC Tune-Up I need to tell you about? If you want to speed up the performance test, just check the network icon, okay? So it doesn't do that when you do check performance. It just goes really fast, okay? Network performance is a little slow. It's the API that I use to analyze hop count, ping count, okay? I think that's about it. What else? Go here. That looks good. Now, me personally, I do not like this, okay? I personally like this. If I go into options here, this quick access, I turn it to this PC. Personally, that's what I do. I do not like it to where when I bring up the Windows Logo Explorer, I want to see this. I don't want to see all the files that I've been working on, especially if you're dealing with privacy, confidentiality, HIPAA, anything like that. You do not want to have some vendor over your shoulder seeing the latest files that you've been working on, client files or whatever, okay? So just turn off quick access. It's like their version of recently used files for the computer inside your applications. But I can't think of anything else to go over. I think that's about it. Alt F4. Just remember Alt F4 on your keyboard, folks. Alt F4 on your keyboard right here. Alt F4. That'll close Windows. That'll close applications. I'll just show you here. Windows logo. Pause break right here. Where's pause break? Right there. That just press those together. That brings up your system so you know what you got going on. You got an A6, 6 gig of RAM, 64-bit. Make sure your operating system is 64-bit, not 32. We do have a few clients still with Windows 10 with 32-bit, and we just leave them where they are because they got too much going on in their life. So what else? Chrome, Firefox. Oh yeah. TeamViewer. Okay, so alright, so that's our Go Green PC tune-up. So Control L brings you up to the search bar. Control L in any browser. Control L, and then I'm just going to type in Mountain Computers. Press enter. Alright, so you got ads, spam basically. So just do that. I'll just show you what we got going on here. The display driver didn't pop back in yet. So under remote support, most people don't realize, but you click this, it'll actually download the version for your computer. Okay. So it's processing, it's down. We'll click that. Personal non-commercial. Accept. Say yes. Alright, so this is our vlog. So our vlog is pretty straightforward. So yeah, that's my nickname from when I was a child. Windows 10, ASRock J4205, that's what we did yesterday. Hard info, that's Linux stuff. End of May, some of our hardware stuff. So we have quite a few videos. And then go back here. That's TeamViewer doing its thing. Just wants to get in the way. They need to stop that. They need to stop doing that, getting in our way. They have too many pop-ups. I should tell them that. I'm a paid customer. So under our blog, yep, this is the latest, 2004. But we have thousands of items. You can just search for it. Control F. Type in what you're looking for. Just say nuclear option. This is still supporting Windows 7 corrupt boot. This is a real popular thing that we do with repairing some operating systems. What else? There's a lot. AMD, Intel, Windows, Linux, databases. I do a lot of databases. In fact, when I worked at Microsoft, they considered me one of the database gods. There was a friend of mine that I helped promote, retrain, and get him into from an $18,000 a year job to a $75,000, $85,000 a year job. But I took him from being no database to database god. But you know, it's not that hard. There's only 3 rules in databases. Even in the cloud stuff, they overcomplicate stuff. The rest of the world, just to justify their high expensive costs. But that's about it. So when it comes down to our TeamViewer just finished, you got your ID, your password. Let me show you what we do sometimes. In order to do TeamViewer properly for remote support, we'll go ahead and go into security, type in a password, and you got to say allowed for administrators only. You got to check that box. So we'll put in a password for our client, especially in this case, that's long enough, strong enough, passphrase. And then once that's done, then we'll say start TeamViewer with Windows. So when you close it, it'll just stay popped up in the bottom right. Just minimize that. Always clear your notifications. And if one pops up that says fix your Microsoft account, okay, it's bogus. Microsoft is trying to get you to hook your computer to their cloud stuff. You'll lose your privacy. So anytime it says Microsoft, there's a problem with your account, you need to fix it, it's bogus. Okay, just don't fall for their traps. Okay? I like Microsoft. I mean, that's how I got to be where I'm at today. But I'm also, before I showed up at Microsoft, I brought a lot of knowledge and power with me. I helped them, they helped me. But when it comes down to computers, this is how you do it. I mean, you want speed. Bring up a command prompt, directory /s. If you see your file system flying by like this, and when you see it's flying by like this, that means it's processing. Now, if an application is slow, that's different, okay? But you can't do anything about that, okay? Also, when you go through the cd / directory, you can see how clean things are. Even your hidden files, directory /ah, your hidden files. You can go into each program directory, directory /od, directory /osize, directory /ah. Just look for things in there. We're always looking for, oops, wrong one. See, program. Just press the tab. It'll auto-populate, auto-complete to the next one. So directory /od, directory /ah, / program data, od, ah. You're looking for strange stuff. /users, set, cd /users, set. I'm under owner, so if you have directory /ah, cd owners, owner directory, go to app data, cd local directory. See the temp, there's no elevated diagnostics, there's no crash dumps. We get rid of those. You can RD your temp file real quick. Once that's done, make your temp file again. CD roaming, look for anything crazy. Nothing crazy right now. In most cases, when you look at a computer, you can look at the file system and see how healthy it is. It's like my version of a colonoscopy. I can see what's going on in a computer pretty fast. Even the registry. You can look through the registry and look for crazy stuff. Just bring up regedit. So you have current user, local machine. Now mind you, this is not for the novice. This is not for an even intermediate user. Okay, this is for an advanced expert user. Okay, that's me. People I work with, I show them this and they're like, wow, that's where everything is. Well, technically yes and no. Now mind you, when you're looking under your software, we actually do some registry fixes inside both the local and the user profile. So you'll see that this is 64-bit because you got a WoW 6432 node. So your Microsoft folder, you got your Windows NT folder, you've got, yeah, still Windows NT. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Even your users, your profiles, it'll be like 1000 or something like that. Yeah, 1001, 1000, whatever. Yeah, pretty simple. And we're just scratching the surface. I mean, there is so much more to it. But that's about it. Download the Go Green PC Tune-Up. That's what I tell people to do. Download the Go Green PC Tune-Up, do the restore points, check your performance. If you need to, buy the license. You know, you can download it and use it on multiple personal computers, but the license does say 1 per PC. So contact me if you have any questions or concerns. Once it activates, it works. Even if you uninstall the program, put it back in. So anyhow, that's about it. So I'm just gonna, I gotta splice this video a little bit. But anyhow, this is Andy from Mountain Computer. Let me turn the light on. There we go. Anyhow, this is Andy from Mountain Computers, the Go Green PC Tune-Up guy. I enjoy computers, but I also like leading teams. I've had small teams, big teams, you know, you name it. But computers are to help us. They're a great tool. That's it. Master, slave. Master, you are the master of your computer. It is a tool. Now, For PC, you know, political correctness, they say slave. That's not right. Well, you know what? Electronics, there's always a controller. There's a command and control. Has nothing to do with our bad history as you know, as bad as it goes back thousands and 10, 20, 30,000 years. So everything that's happening today that is politically correct or incorrect, it's been going on for a long time, folks. So all I can tell you is be sensitive, be kind, be considerate, be really considerate, sensitive, compassionate. Know people's tolerance for pain when it comes to computers. Me, this computer is a great tool, but that's all it is. I can replace the hardware. It's just your data. That's the hard part. So do your backups. Use Carbonite. Use Mozy Pro. Use CrashPlan. Use something better than nothing. Use a backup jump drive. Use your cloud, iCloud. Use your OneDrive. Use your Dropbox. Use Box. Any of those programs, any of them, for even a minimal fee of 10 cents a day is better than nothing. Then make sure it's actually backing up your data and verifying that your data is in the cloud. Now, restoring it, you should understand how to do that, but usually the support companies will help you through that, okay? Either do a drive recovery, overnight ship, or they'll help you figure out how to download a compressed, you know, package of your files that you can unzip and put it back, or if you get ransomware or something like that. But just be careful, okay? And remember, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, because just be happy, do what you love. Work on great projects, innovate, write books, just help people, be positive. Cup is half full, not half empty, folks. Stay in the moment. There's a lot of good stuff going on out there. There's a lot of bad stuff too. And our media doesn't help. Our news people don't help. Now, I know some HR people don't like me being so open and honest. They want you to just follow the, you know, do your job and stay in your box. But really, you know, dynamic, healthy teams is about energy, synergy, cool things, rewards, positive feedback, yeah, critical thinking, positive reinforcement. In the military, I was in the military for a long time, and you'd have a good motor sergeant, you'd have a good CO, you'd have a good group commander, and you'd have some bad ones too, but oh well, you know, they are mortal, they will die, okay? If you have a bad manager, don't work for them, switch out, don't stay there, don't suffer. You don't have time to waste, even listening to me. I mean, write a book. I mean, everybody has great ideas. Everybody starts out pretty good, then they get screwed up in life because of the people they meet or the environments that they work in. It's not necessarily your fault, but you do have willpower to change your destiny. Stay where you're at. Grow, move, change. It's a big world, big planet, and we're going into space, and I want to be part of that space team. That's the cool part. So I recommend everybody find a project, home project. Your work is not your project. Your children, your family, your home, your garden, you know, everything. If we didn't have money, we wouldn't have to be food, water, shelter. If that was all paid for, we'd probably be a lot happier. If we didn't have money, we'd be a lot happier. But, you know, that's our method of transaction for value. Until that disappears and we become Star Trek and 24th century or 34th century, whatever it is, it's not going to change. I mean, this video is going to last a long time, even after I'm long gone in 20, 30 years. If I live to be the age of 92, that's my destiny. So, anyhow, have fun, enjoy yourself. This is Andy from Mountain Computers. I want you to know, just have a great day. Enjoy my videos. Share, like, and subscribe, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, my legs, I'm getting old.